Man, guys, those drag pipes make a huge difference. The bike, I'm a say easily picked up a few horsepower. It revs a lot better. I will start it up, but it's just gonna distort the sound because it's so loud. But trust me, just take my word for it. It's loud. So this is a '99. Um, Let me just say a few things about it that I like, a few things that I don't. Well, first off, um, it's an 883. It's got a super. I don't remember what carburetor it has, but it's got the K&N air filter. I put that kit on it because it had a single bolt. I made a bracket so that the air filter would fit. I like the bigger air filter. Not really crazy about the black, but I did want a K&N air filter on there, and that was the only one that was available. It has a cam. It has dry pipes now. It used to have um, Vance and Hines. They would go like this, and it just I felt like the bike was restricted. To be honest with you, these pipes here, the bike is a lot faster. Not that the bike is fast, period, but it's faster for all y'all 883 haters. I've had 1200s, and I know how fast the 1200 is. This is not going to keep up to a 1200, even with the mods that it has, but it's not that much of a slouch. Um, I checked to see if it had a big bore kit. Well, a 1200 kit, it doesn't. It has the cylinders do say 883 on the other side. They're stamped, so it's stock engine for sure. But it does get up and go. For 883, this thing it rolls pretty good. Like, I'm surprised. So the things that I like about the bike is the small scale of it. It's People say that it's heavy, but I guess since I'm used to riding Road Kings and Road Glides and Heritages and FLHTCs and all of the above, it's kind of being an oxymoron, I would say. But I just, I like that. To me, it's a light bike, and you can flick it around. It flicks very well. Um, if you're a smaller person, obviously this bike is going to feel a little heavy. It's 550 pounds, so it's not very light. Um, but I mean, it is definitely a lot of fun to ride. Yes, I have a few oil leaks that I'm going to address, and the rockers are leaking. The rockers right here are leaking, so that started the other day. But it's okay. That's another video. Um, Overall, the brakes suck. The brakes really, you gotta like really get on the brakes to be able to stop this thing. Um, I don't like that. I don't like the factory headlight. It takes a bunch of wattage. Definitely upgrade your headlight to a LED, less wattage, um, happier, charging system. Um, this one needs tires. Let me get that done. I'm gonna do it myself, but I'm gonna get tires for it now. Um, and rideability is very comfortable. I have these are 12-inch mini apes, and my riding position. I'm 5'8". My riding position is pretty pretty good. Like, I'm not hunched over trying to reach the bars. Um, the pegs, the forward mounts are very comfortable. I found out that with these drag pipes, there is a little bit of a closeness with when I put my leg on that peg. I do feel the heat from these pipes, but I felt them from the other ones, from prior ones, because they would go up like this, like right under this oil tank, like they would protrude out like this and then go over the oil tank. And either way, I would feel heat like right around here with my other pipes. So I think it's about the same pain. And I'm willing to deal with it because it runs a hell of a lot better with these pipes on there. Um, it took me about 30 minutes to put them on. Um, and they do kind of sort of stick out a little bit. I don't like that too much, but it's okay. I can deal with it. I like the performance that it gave the bike. Um, if, like I said, if you're a smaller person, these bikes are like, they're great to own, and they're actually pretty good on maintenance. Um, like I said, my rockers started leaking the other day, so excluding the rockers leaking, they're pretty durable bikes. Like, they don't ask for much. Change the oil, change the engine oil and the primary oil. This bike here has 26,000 miles. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like a new bike when you drive it. Gears clink and clank. All Sportsters do that. Harleys in general, but I don't get that clink and clanking out of the bigger bikes. Obviously, the transmission's a lot bigger on anything, Road King, Road Glide, or Heritage. Those bikes have in my opinion, a better transmission setup than a Sportster does. But Sportsters are okay. Like, it's not, it's not gonna affect the riding any different. 5 speed, but like, I'm able to go 70, no problem. The bike is not really screaming like people are saying they scream, and 70 mile an hour is fine. All Harleys at 70 start screaming. I'm sorry, I don't care if you have a 6 speed. It's at 70 mile an hour. It's the RPMs are, you know, the bike is letting everybody know, hey, here I come. So stop it. Um, and yes, I have driven 6 speeds. Like, I know the comments are gonna say, "We well, never rode a 6 speed." Yes, I have. Um, Other thing that I don't like about the bike, um, the tank. So people, if you're gonna get a Sportster for long rides, it's really not a problem because there's a gas station usually within every 50 miles anywhere you go, except, excluding some areas in the United States. But most of the time, you're going to have gas stations that are at least 50 miles apart. And, you can go ahead and fill up and keep going. I haven't driven this bike more than 2 hour trip, and it doesn't do bad. Like, I'm not running out of gas. At 2 hours, it still has plenty of gas in it, but I believe like anything over 6 hours or maybe 200 miles, you're gonna start to worry about the gas. I think that tank is only 2.5 gallons, maybe 3. I'm not really sure. Um, but it's something that every time I get on it, I'm gonna go on a distance. I think about, and it's okay because when you get on your bike, you always think about any vehicle. You think about how much gas do I have, obviously. So anyway, um, that's another one that I don't like. Um, and I don't like the brakes. The brakes are really mushy. Like, the front brake, you can push it down and it is mushy, 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 mushy. Like, now it's a little solid because it's been in the sun and brake fluid builds up pressure. But it is mushy. Like, you gotta like hold. You got it from here to here to, and I'm squeezing pretty hard right now. I'm squeezing very hard. It's just that one caliber in the front needs definitely upgrading. But the back brakes are okay. I've never locked up the back tire, but I do use the back brake a lot just because that thing is so mushy. And I've heard other Sportster owners complaining about the mushy front brake. I think they sell a kit now where you could put a two piston caliber. I'm not sure about that, but uh, at some point I'm going to go there because I'm going to keep this bike. And that's pretty much it. I mean, what I like about it is it's light. Um, everybody comments on the looks, and this is an older one. I know it's not new. And I know that the fairing's not painted. I'm gonna eventually get that painted, and the fender and whatever you call this guy down here. It does have a little air horn. Over here in Texas, you want people to know you're coming, even though they're going to hear you with them things. But when you beep them, they know that you're annoyed. Get the hell out of the way. Usually, not all the time, but I love the shaking. When you start it up, it's the you know that you're riding an American-made bike. I love the shaking. Some people hate it. I love it. I like the A83s aren't as torquey aren't as torquey as the 1200s. The 1200s have a lot more torque, but with a cam, I'm able to get a little bit more RPM, and then when it starts to get into the RPM, it does actually start to pull really good. So I'm surprised with this little girl here. My buddy has a Honda VTX 1300, and I'm able to keep up to him with no problem when we're both racing. And which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's not a rocket by any means, but it does get it's fun to ride something slow fast than to ride something fast or to ride something fast slow. I don't know, something like that. But it's a lot of fun to ride. Definitely, I love getting on this thing and going. So we have a 2022 here, and we'll be doing a review on that pretty soon. It's not brand new. It's a 2022, but it's a leftover from last year. But the bike is brand new. It has roughly 50 miles on it. So we'll be getting to that. We're going to be putting pipes. We're going to be putting a Screaming Eagle CPU. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff to this. This one's a 1200R. 1200. Sorry, there's no such thing as an R. I don't know why that came out, but this one's a 1200 iron. And we'll be getting into that guy soon. And then this girl here, like I said, she's an old one, but she's a goodie, and I plan on keeping her. Not really going to do much else to it. At some point, I might go ahead and put a 1250 kit. I do want to get as much power out of this as I can. Like I said, I've had a few Sportsters, but the one that I remember the most was a black one that I had. It was a 1200 Buell, with the Sportster had a Buell XB 1200R engine in it, and it had cylinder heads, it had a cam, it had a Super G. It was awesome, man. That thing would wheelie in fourth gear, and I was able to keep up to 600cc liter bikes. Probably none of the new ones, but Uh, I would say anything 2005 and down. That other Sportster um, would not leave it behind, but it would, the 600 would not beat on that Sportster. That Sportster would be right next to him throughout the gears. It was really so much fun to ride, and I missed that bike. I should have never sold it, but now we have this guy here, and I do plan, like I said, to put a 1250 kit in it. I'll do it myself. I'll shoot a couple videos of the build. Um, Throw a clutch, a new belt. I don't know how old that belt is. It might be the original one, and you know what happens when you start putting power, things start to break. But like I said, definitely a fun bike. Definitely a bike that if you're trying to get into motorcycling and you're a smaller person. um I'm 5'8". I'm not very tall. I feel super comfortable on this. I can slap it around. It does what I want. um and it just has all the Harley qualities, the vibration, the shaking, the sound. you know First, most important, the sound, the thump 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 of the engine, idling. Like I said, I would start it up, but this thing is so obnoxiously. You know what? Let me just go ahead and start it up. So it's in gear, so let me take it out of gear. I probably won't rev it up, but okie dokie, here it is. Oh, run. Is it shaking? Love that. Trying to get away from it so you can hear it. The handlebars. There goes the helmet. I don't want my neighbor to come out. Shut that motherfucker out. Which I won't blame him. It's pretty loud. And that's it. That's it, guys. I mean, if you're, like I say, a smaller person and you looking to get into the motorcycle world, uh, Sportsters are definitely a go-to. I think Harley now makes a 750, and they make even a smaller 500cc. Um, and it's like I said, it's whatever you're comfortable riding. Go ahead and get it, because if you get a bike and it's too big, you're not going to enjoy riding. You're going to get, I'm not saying you're going to give up, but you're not. You got to feel like you're in control of the bike, not the bike in control of you. So I would definitely get something that you're comfortable, like, your feet can touch all the way on the ground, flat, not tippy toeing. The tippy toeing makes you feel uncomfortable. Something that you could back up yourself. Nobody has to push you out of parking spots or out of your garage. So things of that nature are important when you're getting a motorcycle, and you just don't want to feel like um, you're dreading a ride. Some people, like I had a Road King that had like 18-inch ape hangers on it. The bike was super tall. The seat from the ground to right here was a very tall bike, just big overall. And I hated riding it because I didn't feel comfortable. Like I was tippy toeing on the traffic lights. Um, and I couldn't back the bike up myself. I had to always have ask somebody, "Hey, man, can you push me back?" And that takes the fun out of it, because you got to feel in control. It's, put it this way, for you guys that don't know how it feels when you have too big of a bike. It's like getting into a semi truck and somebody giving you the keys to a semi and telling you, go ahead and drive this thing to to the next town. You're gonna be like, well, it's too big. That's the same thing happens on a motorcycle, in my opinion. There are gonna be people that disagree, but everybody's entitled to their opinions. So if you're gonna get a bike, get something that you're comfortable on for sure. And then if you outgrow it, you can always upgrade later on. You have that option. If you get something that's too big, you're probably not going to outgrow it ever, and you're just going to have a different, conception of what it is to be riding a motorcycle. Motorcycles are fun. Gets the air in your head, in your hair, blow through your hair. And they're therapy. Like, you can have the worst day, get on a bike, and just completely forget about your problems. It's therapy. So I hope that older bike review wasn't all that great, because I know I missed a lot of things, but at least the basic stuff was talked about. Um, and that's it. I mean, it's all I got. Y'all take care.